Hello and welcome to Insights. This is Hari Kumar. The much extolled education sector of Kerala is a shambles at present. The left parties, especially the CPM, which shouted at the top of their voice the tagline, Kerala is number one, admits publicly now that there is something wrong with the education sector in the state. In his recent budget, that is the budget for 24-25, Kerala Finance Minister expresses his worries about falling standards in the higher education sector in Kerala. He also mentions about the outflow of students from Kerala to other countries, especially the West, including the United States, the United Kingdom, the Australia and Germany. To stem the outflow, the minister says the government will welcome Western universities to open their campuses in Kerala. Moreover, in 2023, Kerala government had in principle approved private universities in Kerala. This budget also repeats about opening private universities in Kerala. Is not it an irony that communist parties, leftists, who once organized countless agitations and protests and shed much blood on the streets of Kerala over the past years against privatization or allowing private investment in education sector, are now happily welcoming private investment in education sector. Actually, it is the left who destroyed the education sector of Kerala. Their activities were twofold. One was that they destroyed the existing government institutions. Second, they prevented at all costs any private investment in the education sector. Let us walk down the memory lane. In early 1990s, when the Congress government led by A.K. Antony spoke about or wanted to give permission to private investment or self-finance colleges, in especially professional colleges, the SFI fought tooth and nail against it. The sensational agitations actually culminated in a police firing at Kootuvaramba, in which 5 DYFI workers were killed. The agitation was against, or the killed DYFI workers were protesting against opening a private medical or a self-financed medical college at Pariyaram in Kannur. That was the level of protest. Many lives were lost, that they were needless. The SFI didn't gain anything from it because a few years later, the communist government itself allowed private investment in colleges. In fact, the majority of medical colleges and engineering colleges in Kerala at present are in the self-finance sector. The number of government colleges including the number of medical colleges and engineering colleges are far less than the number of self-finance colleges in Kerala. Actually, at that point of time, the Congress government had tried to stem the outflow of students from Kerala to neighboring states. And a large number of students from Kerala studied in the engineering colleges and medical colleges in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu at that point. Even now, many students go there. Of late, it is true that the West is the preferred destination for students from Kerala. There are two aspects, or there are two factors that attract students from Kerala to the West. One is the high quality of education. The second is, of course, the possibility of permanently settling there and getting a citizenship. So, these are the two factors, and one is about the lack of standards in education sector in Kerala, and the second is about opportunities, job opportunities. The Kerala government needs to work on both fronts. That means things have to be changed lock, stock, and barrel. Band-aid treatments are not going to help Kerala's education sector. A couple of decades ago, it was true that government colleges and schools in Kerala had very high standards. Even now, the professional colleges in the government sector have reasonably good standards. But who destroyed the education sector in Kerala? Nobody else is to blame. It is the left parties. It was the left who politicized the education sector in Kerala. They politicized not just students but teachers also. The teachers and student organization works in tandem in many education institutions in Kerala, and their protests are not motivated to better the education system. They have actually become tools in the hands of the left parties. Some of the very prestigious colleges in Kerala, for example, University College in Thiruvananthapuram and Maharaja's College in Ernakulam, they have deteriorated beyond redemption. The Maharaja's College Ernakulam is now a cradle of violence and even communalism. Even workers of SFI are not safe there because communal organizations have raised their hood there. Their students' organizations have got huge influence in many education institutions in the state. Actually, they followed the footsteps of the left parties. Recently, the principal of Maharaja's College Ernakulam was transferred because of a bout of violence there, and in which SFI workers also were injured. A couple of years ago, an SFI worker was stabbed to death there. This is true to many other colleges in Kerala. Let us check what happened to Government College Kasaragod, one of the underdeveloped districts in Kerala, where the government college should have functioned as a model to other education institutions. The principal of the college was transferred. She accused the SFI of conducting immoral traffic in the college, running immoral activities in the college, and she was attacked. At the law college Thiruvananthapuram, which is one of the very famous law colleges and educational institutions in Kerala, in 2023 the principal and around 20 teachers were besieged and blocked, and they were attacked, and they complained. Many newspapers published reports that they were even denied medical aid. Such incidents happens in the higher education sector in the state. You look at the schools earlier, the government schools in Kerala were always kept very high standards. People from the elite class and the poorest of the poor, or children, offsprings of the richest in the state and the poorest in the state, studied together in government schools in Kerala. And that itself was a kind of social engineering that made even the upper class aware of the real situations in the state. Those are all forgone. Those are all bygone days. The government schools in Kerala have completely deteriorated. The number of students studying in government schools in Kerala are very less. even government employees, even left leaders don't send their children to government schools. Only the destitute level people, not even the poor people, send, send their children to government schools if there is any possibility. Why did that happen? The answer is very simple. The student wings, especially this is here also SFI is to be blamed foremost. Of course, the student wings of other political parties, including KSU or the KSC or MSF or even ABVP, have their own roles in it, but their role is minimal. Actually, it was the SFI which caused all this deterioration. This is because, on the one level, they organized students and asked them to begin strikes. On the other level, the teachers also were completely politicized, and this vitiated the atmosphere of schools. And now it is very difficult for the government to change because you have the whole system has been affected by the virus of politicization. It cannot be removed by just by inviting foreign universities to open their campus or allowing a private university in the state. Actually, very few students are going to benefit from this. Once the SFI or and the left parties used to claim that if private sector is allowed investment in the education sector, they will develop separate standards or they will compromise standards both in examinations and in teachings. And they even alleged that the training for teachers would not be given properly. Now, did all this change in a few years? Why did the government take a policy change? Why did the government make enough consultations before changing their policy? A few years ago, almost 10 years ago, the then government led by Uman Chandi held an global education conference at Kovalam, and the then Higher Education Council Vice Chairman T.P. Srinivasan, who is a very well-known figure and who was India's ambassador to many countries and even the permanent representative of India in United Nations, he was brazenly attacked. Though he tried to run away from the protesters, assailants, they ran after him, hit him on the back of his head, and he fell down. An old man of nearly 70 years was attacked. A well-respected thinker was attacked just for floating the idea of checking the possibility of allowing foreign universities to function in the Kerala. Is not it a contradiction that the same government now speaks about inviting foreign universities to Kerala? These are all hypocrisy. This is double standards of the left. Actually, it is the double standards and humbug of the left that destroyed the education sector of Kerala. And it is unlikely that a promise in a budget is going to bring hordes of investors to Kerala to invest in education sector. And it is mere wishful thinking to dream that investors will flock to Kerala and education sector in the Kerala will undergo radical changes in the coming years. This is likely to further deteriorate unless the government's policies and thinking changes at every level. The same situation will persist in Kerala. The youth will migrate from Kerala to other countries. The education sector will further deteriorate. Even the gains in the literacy are going to be obliterated. That's for now. Meet you with another issue next time. Till then, goodbye.